whether it's Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning, reality winner, Julian Assange, leave them alone for the whistleblowing. It doesn't mean that I like every one of these individuals or they're good people or they have our interests at heart or whatever all the time. But this is not, they're not demonized for those reasons. They're demonized because they dared to go against the security state, the intelligence apparatus, all of that. And by the way, we want to mention some of the conditions that she had been suffering under. So she had COVID while in prison, which isn't that shocking. So many prisoners did because our country didn't give a damn. We didn't do anything really to protect prisoners from getting and dying from COVID. Anytime you advocate for literally any better improvement of the conditions in our prisons, you're gonna be attacked for it because those are not humans. You're not supposed to care about them. Let's see, her prison lost power and heat during last winter's ice storms. A number of her fellow inmates actually died of COVID during that time. And she's just now been moved out of one of those. But go watch John Oliver's most recent episode about overheating in prisons, killing people. She very likely would have been subject to that had she been kept in, and now all of the other prisoners still will. So the conditions that these whistleblowers are held in are absolutely devastating. They shouldn't be suffering any consequences, certainly not the consequences that they are. So good that thanks to her good behavior, she at least got out to some extent. I don't know if she'll ever talk about the experience or anything, but I'm glad that she at least is not in prison anymore. Any further thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta talk about just the awful conditions that people live under in the American prison system more often, honestly. Even practices like solitary confinement, where they keep people in for years in what they call 23-in-1. You're locked in your room for 23 hours a day. You get 1 hour for recreation. You have no human contact. People can't visit you. This is inhumane. It's torture. It's shameful what we're doing to American citizens in our prison system. And obviously it's horrible when they do it to whistleblowers, but it's horrible when they do it to anybody who's been considered to have broken a law. They're still human beings and still deserve to be treated with some level of dignity.
Right, 100%, 100%. And you don't have to leak state secrets to be devastated by our system. In that John Oliver episode, they talked about one guy who was in prison for writing a bad check, who died from the heat in the prison. That's what our system is.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.